One of the problems that we have in society today is that we're too sedentary. We don't move enough. So it's important that you sort of get into a habit of sort of moving. And that you can do specific exercises, but just some general sort of movements of your spine, backwards to the side, twisting round either side. Just get into a regime of sort of movement. Here are a number of exercises that will help promote a healthy back. The kneeling stretch exercise is quite good as a warm-up exercise because it introduces sort of nice, gentle movement to the spine before you start getting into the more stretchy exercises. So what we need to do is you start on your hands and knees. So you just need to bring your knees back underneath your hips. Okay? So that's the starting position. You're going to keep your hands still. What I want you to do is sit back on your heels. So as you go back on your heels, when you get to that point, you drop your head down so you get that stretch through your spine and then come back to the starting position. Okay? Now again, just do that 5 times. So just go back onto your heels. When you get to that point, drop your head down, come back up, lift your head up, that's it. Okay? So again, 5 times, looking at sort of nice relaxed movement to sort of loosen up your back. The back extension exercise is great because we don't introduce that sort of movement into our lifestyle on a daily basis. So it's good to give you that change of posture and change of movement. So what you want to do is your hips stay flat on the bed now. You're going to push on your hands, lift your head and shoulders off the bed so you arch your back and straighten your elbows so that you feel that stretch in the low part of your back and then down. And again, you're going to do that 5 times. The knees to the chest exercise is good for stretching out the back into that bent flex position to stretch the ligaments and the muscles. If you bend your knees up so your feet are flat on the bed, okay? Bring your knees towards your chest, get your hands below your knees, squeeze your knees into your chest so you roll your hips off the floor so you feel that stretch in the low part of your back. And you hold that for the count of 5 and then release. And again, you're going to do that 5 times. Get your hands on your knees. Squeeze your knees into your chest so you roll your hips off the floor and take yourself to the point where you sort of feel that stretch and discomfort in the low part of your back. And then down. Okay? The knee rotation one is all about movement, really, trying to introduce some sort of movement generally into the sort of spine, the middle part of your back and the low part of your back. And it's all about movement. So put your feet together, knees together. Take your hands, rest your hands on your chest, so that you take your elbows and arms out to the side. So you're going to keep your shoulders and arms flat on the bed all the time. Take your knees down to the left and then right. So you're just going to oscillate between the left and the right, so you produce that nice sort of relaxed sort of movement of your spine. And you're going to do that 5 times either side. The Superman exercise is all about toning up the muscles that are there to keep your spine stable. So you're making yourself unstable to actually stimulate the stability muscles to work. What I want you to do is take your leg out straight, backwards and upwards, but to the point where you're keeping your pelvis still. Now your right arm. And by doing that now, what we're doing is made you slightly unstable and your muscles now are having to sort of work to maintain your stability. So you hold that position for 6 seconds and then relax. And now let's change sides. So right leg and then left arm. Again, make sure that you're keeping your spine still and flat. That's it, good. Count to 6. And you're going to do that 5 times either side. So the bridging exercise is all about toning up muscles of the lower spine, the hips and the pelvis. So that you create that stability again by instability. So what I want you to do now is lift your hips off the bed to the point where you sort of get your hips in line with your knees. You maintain that position. So what you can see yourself doing now, you're slightly trembling because you're having to make the muscles work to maintain that control of your pelvis and hips. It's important that you get into a sort of regime of sort of exercise, and that can be anything from sort of swimming, cycling, yoga, Pilates, just exercise.